I'm going to be in my head about what to say for forever until you
Yeah.
finally just say, I want to do this. I want to do this with you. This is a project we talked about. I can't be afraid of how it looks or sounds forever. At some point, I say, hit record. We're going to talk about what we want to talk about, and I'm not going to worry about the rest. And it'll
Yeah.
unfold as the weeks go. I'll make sense of this as time moves.
Right. And the more you talk, the more you will be able to make sense of like what you want to
Ex-
talk about.
exactly.
It's
Yep.
like there's
So
always the like how do I want to come across? What are the things I want to say? But then when you have a conversation, you aren't thinking about those things. You're talking. And
exactly.
the
Yep.
first couple times it just feels so awkward
Yeah.
because or performative maybe is the right word. But
Right. If it's like you're like, I don't want to feel staged.
yeah,
But then you're like, but am I staged? Is this natural? Is this how I speak to you? And like at the end of the day, you and I have these conversations every week. And that was more or less the idea of this is like we want to talk about our experience in fitness, where we're trying to go. There's no reason we can't record this and share it with people who that story resonates with them. So you don't have to be in your head about it. It's a
right.
natural, it's a natural conversation.
The more I've thought about this too, the more I kind of feel like what I want to get out of it is like hopefully learning a lot. Like I
Yeah.
want to talk to you
Yeah.
about like I want to have like our normal day to day like dude, what did you do? Like how did you strategize that? And like how did that go? And like how did I flop today?
Yep.
But I want like to be able to bring on people and to have conversations and like dig deeper into whether it's like fitness, nutrition, health, mental stuff. Like just have a lot of good conversations about the things that we talk about all the time. And like hopefully this is a platform where you and I both get to learn a lot and other people if they want to listen along they
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
But like that's kind of what I want to get out of it too.
And I think also when you put yourself in a place where you're like, I'm going to talk about this in an open platform, it's not just you and I's phone call, just us. You're inviting people to share in that experience or say, hey, by the way, I thought the same thing, or this is what happened. This is why I couldn't do double unders, which is, someone can come in and save
Yeah.
me. So I think having that conversation in an open system like that, I think is beneficial. So I do think we're going to learn things, we're going to grow, and it's just another avenue for us to kind of absorb and share, our world in that with others, and they can
Yeah.
interject their wisdom or their 2 cents into the process and probably help us along, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So maybe we just kick it off.
Oh yeah, we're going. This is it. We're in it
Yeah.
now. It's
Yeah. So
it.
the working name coast to coast, chasing RX, East Coast to West Coast.
Yep.
I'm Pete Emerson.
Yep. I'm Joel Donovan. I'm the East
Yep.
Coast side of this whole duo.
Yep. I'm the West Coast here in California. Chasing RX because this is probably primarily a spinoff of CrossFit and RX top level, um,
Yep.
prescribed, some would call it. Everything else kind of scale down. And there's kind of always that thing when you're sitting there at a gym. If you have been there, you know what we're talking about. If you haven't, you kind of walk in and see, here are the things to do today. And there's always that top level. It's like the barbell is going to be 185 going overhead. You're going to do this many double unders. You're going to go do some handstand walking. You're going to go do this. And then and then also for you other people, there's
Yeah.
115. You can just do some push-ups and do something else. And like everything in a gym is like beneficial. Scaling is like the number one thing in CrossFit of how to have fun, keep doing it,
Not
maintain,
get hurt.
not get hurt.
Yep.
But the idea of wanting to be 1% better, the idea of wanting to chase those types of things, I think is like what pushes me and I think pushes all the conversations you and I are typically having.
I think for you and I think the inspiration of this too was that we weren't former athletes. Like you've been a runner for a long time. You have a great motor, and you've always been really good with running. But overall, competitively, we were not athletes. We were not high school athletes, college athletes, anything like that. And so for us to come in, we didn't have the basis where we could go in new to a sport and go, this is as prescribed. Cool, we got it done. We didn't have that platform, and some days we can get there. We can dabble in the RX world, and some days we don't, depending on what's put in front of us. And so I think that was sort of the inspiration of this was like, well, we're not some prodigy. We're just guys that just want to do better every day and have those conversations where you keep me accountable, I keep you accountable, and we can kind of share that. And I do think it's going to resonate with people because I know we're not the only ones. Our friends talk about this, we talk about it, so there's no reason not just to put it on tape and send it out.
Yeah, I'd say like so for anybody listening, Joel and I probably talk once a day, if not more. Yeah. Sometimes it's just on the way to the gym, right after the gym. Sometimes just checking in, actually catching up on actual life stuff.
Sometimes it's grocery runs on the car, the grocery run. We'll chat it up.
Back when we both lived in the same neighborhood, it was the beer in between responsibilities, quick walk down the street.
Yeah.
It has many evolutions, and this podcast is just one more of those evolutions. Yeah. So, before we get into like anything like CrossFit-y, like what, like maybe talk a little bit about like your gym, like how long you've been doing CrossFit.
Yeah. So you were in it first. You hopped on, I want to say it was like June of 22, maybe.
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
Somewhere right there. So you were in it, and we've been best friends for 20 some years, and I didn't really know anything about CrossFit. I obviously knew the name, but I didn't know the methodology or what was happening. And you and your wife were really into it. You just super enjoyed it. And so as we would hang out, because we were neighbors, you would tell me about it. And you were doing a competition. I think it was fall of 23. And you just said, well, I'm doing this thing. I'd love to have you come, cheer me on. So I just wanted to go.
Come watch me lift some weights, dude.
I want to support you because we're just friends. I'm like, I don't care what it is. It's, it'll probably be stupid, but it matters to you. I could tell in our conversations that it mattered to you. So I was like, all right, I'm going. And me and my kiddo showed up and cheered you on. And everyone at the gym is called CrossFit Pushing Weights, based in Powhatan, Virginia. Everyone was so accommodating, hospitable, kind, supportive. My preconception going into it was immediately crushed. Immediately. I thought it was a bunch of ego bros just, I don't know, like they're snorting protein powder off of a bench somewhere. Like I thought it was going to be a lot.
Don't talk about my pre-workout routine.
I can't give away your secrets. Pete's at the gym, Powhatan, Virginia, CrossFit Pushing Weight. He's into it. I go, I check it out just to support Pete. I'm like, these people are awesome. This is great. I can't wait to figure this out. And then if you remember, you and I went to play Frisbee golf together, and we were talking like, when do you join? How do I join? How much does it cost? When do I sign up? Who do I talk to? And we kind of made sense of it. I started texting with the owners and kind of set up my fundamentals and did all that stuff. And then off to the races I went. I went as quick as I could. I joined February of 24 was day one for me. Does that answer the question? Was that?
I think so.
Yeah, that's how I fell into it.
Out of the story, though, is I came in second place during that competition.
You did come in second place. Who'd you lift with? Who was that?
God, I'm gonna forget. It was like, so it was this scaled, to be really clear. This was this scaled like group, and then it was a partner competition that you didn't get to pick your partner. And
that year they just threw
And the guy I ended up partnering with was like a family member of somebody at the gym who doesn't typically come to the gym. And so he was like strong as an ox, but just like didn't like have exactly the motor. So like, which was like good for us. We were like a really good pair because I think in that competition I like had a front squat PR of 190 and like he did like 250, but then I crushed some other things. So
yeah, those are funny how as you get into it, you learn, especially on like teamers, like you have this good skill set, I have this good thing.
Right.
We can marry that up.
Yeah.
But all that to say, also on your question, you asked how long I've done it. It's been 2 years, so or just over 2 years. So February of 26 was my 2 year mark. So I'm just past that a couple
Yeah.
months.
Yeah. So where does that put me? We decided summer 22 we joined, so that's almost 4. We're coming up on
Yeah,
4,
yeah,
which is right. So that put 2 years of pushing weight, and then we moved out to the West Coast. May, where was it? Right at Memorial Day, you helped drive the truck.
yeah, yeah. It was Memorial
Memorial
Day
Day
weekend of
20.
24. Yeah, it was 2024. We were driving
Yeah,
cross country in the big rig.
yeah, yeah. We'll
Yeah,
post some pictures of that at some point, but and talk about some of the CrossFit associated things with that trip. But yeah, we made it out here 2 years ago, almost to the day. We're like a month out. And then I think pretty much got off the truck and knew what gym I was going to go to.
yeah.
Like being 2 years into building community, working out at a specific place every single day. Like I'm not going to say it's the most important place or thing that I found. Like, we had to get
It's
a
up there.
house, had to get a job, but like definitely making sure we were close to a gym. And you don't really know. Like you can read reviews and stuff, but landed at a solid place at CrossFit Tustin here in Orange County, which has been awesome. It's been awesome for the past 2 years. It was surprising to me. I kind of thought it took a year at pushing weight to start feeling connected and kind of like as a part of the gym and the community. And then I was like, oh man, you'll kind of like just jump in to this new place. And then like, because I'm not new anymore, you'll feel it. It's like, no, it took a year, right?
Yeah.
It took a full year again. But this like past year has just been awesome. Lifting, making friends, connecting with people. Carrie started going now again, which has been great. So it's another family workout situation, which is awesome.
I had a funny conversation, 2 weeks ago with Jason Plamp at Push and Weight, and
Oh, nice.
he and I were doing a morning together, and he said something. It was the accessory work. I think we were doing back squats or something, and he was like, we were just talking about, oh, well, this guy could do, whatever. You should be here, and I was like, don't ask me. I'm the new guy. And Jason looked at me. He's like, what are you talking about? And somehow in my head, I'm still the new guy. And he was like, you're not the new guy. And I was like, I am. And he's like, dude, you've been here over 2 years. And I was like, here's the problem though. For me, I still feel the new guy because yes, it is 2 years, but Jason was there well before me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the people I surround myself with, Sean Harris, Jason Plant, like these guys have been like, what are you talking about? You guys are like 6 years, 7 years, 8 years in. I'm
Yeah.
absolutely the new guy.
Right.
But it is funny because I do need to kind of adjust my perspective and not be like maybe self-deprecation that way, because there are people that have been there for 4 months and they talk to me and they're like, oh yeah, like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, it's this thing, whatever. Like, I don't think anything of it. And they're like, no, they go to you because you know where everything is and what's what. And I feel like I do need to kind of hold that mentality, not for my own ego, but because there were people ahead of me that helped me, that were like, hey, this is what this is. This is how you do that.
Right.
Like you just know your way around the gym, and you know like what you're supposed to be looking for, how a rep scheme was broken down, and whatever it is. So it's like I want to be helpful because I had those people help me, Jeff Jones and Sean and you, and like these OGs from Push and Weight that were like, it's okay, don't panic, I got you.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you
it's
kind
a
of
little
feel
bit
that.
of like the inferiority complex, right? Because I think we started this thing off talking about how we're like chasing our ex and kind
Yeah.
of the name and kind of like the feeling. And when you always have something in front of you that you're so clearly not as good as. And so whoever you're watching on Instagram, kind of flipping through, you can follow Rich and Jason Hopper and all these people, right? And it's like, I'm so bad at this sport comparatively to like the top 1%, that when you can show up in your own gym, you can just feel like, hey, yeah, I'm just like trying to just like get a little better today, but I'm not good at this.
Yeah.
But to your point, like in terms of like a gym dynamic, which is really just like friends, people trying to learn, people trying to grow, people trying to get better. It is good to like recognize like, hey, like maybe you're not as good as an elite level athlete, but that doesn't mean you can't just like connect and like help support other people around the place.
Yeah.
Just don't be a dick about it.
Yeah. Don't be a dick. It's
Hey,
listen,
let me help you out with this lift.
the bar.
Let me show you some pointers.
I think one time, just a couple weeks ago, Mitch and I were doing snatches, and Mitch is so strong. He just basically picks it up and just, it doesn't matter, he just lifts and never touches his body once. He just lifts it up and just,
Excellent technique.
yeah. And I'm like,
Just muscle snatching everything.
yeah, I'm like, you're really strong. I was like, I think your snatch could be really, really heavy if you just change this. I was like, and when he would grab the bar, I could hear the barbell before he takes off. He goes, and he yank. And I'm like, no. I was like, load your tension first, and then come off the ground slow, and then launch in the midsection. So I'm telling him, he's like, okay, and he's like,
Just
cool,
going
yeah.
over coaching notes that you've been taught from your coach while you've been-
Right. So I'm like, or stuff I watch online of like obsessing with snatches. And Amina, I look over and Amina's staring at me. And she has her arms, she's mad. And she has her arms crossed and she goes, and she has her coach jersey. She goes, you want my shirt? You want my shirt? And I was like, yes, ma'am. I will shut up. I will walk away. She's like, walk away. Don't do this. I was like, okay, sorry about that. But yeah, so help
So
when.
pause on that real quick. So anybody that doesn't do CrossFit daily, the great thing about CrossFit gyms overall is like, unless like you're there like doing like a pre like your own little workout, something that you've planned or kind of worked out with the coach. Every single class you go into, you have a coach who's like highly trained to
Yes.
support and make sure you're doing the movements correctly, walk you through everything, make sure you get scaled correctly. And so while like some of the movements, can be scary or people think about it, it's just like, oh, I have to like get into crazy good shape or like learn how to do all these things before. Right. Yeah, I mean, there's some fundamentals you have to learn, but like CrossFit was really built around like people helping support you and having like good coaching there every day. People programming, planning out like your full week of workouts. So you can just like show up, right? Mm-hmm. You can show up and you don't have to worry about, what am I going to do today? How's it going to happen? And you have people there to be like, oh no, like you're kind of doing it, but just like adjust this a little bit. And like, that's it. Which is exceptionally valuable.
That was something that you and I talked about one time. I think we broke it down that if you're inviting people and they're like, oh, okay, seems kind of intense, or I heard it's really expensive. You and I talked at one point about like a cost for maybe like a 30-minute session with a coach at like an AmFam or a Gold's.
Yep.
I'm like, when you go to a CrossFit gym, you have top-tier coaches that are there every second that the building is open. And their only goal is to help you, speak to you, watch you, educate you every second of every day. So it's like you have, sometimes there are multiple
coaches that would be like, hold the roll. Like we're not that available, but right. I know your point.
Yeah, but like, and sometimes there's more than one coach there. Like if you hop in an open gym, they'll be talking through stuff and you'll have multiple coaches sitting there and you're like, this is insane. This would cost hundreds of dollars just for the session to have specific coaching on this Olympic lift or whatever. So I think the value is kind of undeniable. If it's something that you want, you go, I want to be here, I want to do these things, then yes, you got to do it.
Yeah.
It's great.
All right, enough about CrossFit and the efficacy and how awesome it is. What do you got going on this week?
Well, right now I'm recording a record at a studio in the city. It was just completely not CrossFit related at all. So yeah, playing bass and singing on an EP with a buddy of mine that we wrote some music. So we're doing that, hanging out here. So the background you see here, if anyone sees this ever, it probably won't look like this next week when I talk. But yeah, recording a record. I took today off the gym. I was feeling pretty worn out, to be honest. I'm going to go back tomorrow for the teamer, which is like kind of like an intense Murph prep version type of thing. It's running, then echo bike, then they're throwing in like some snatches and clean and jerks, but it's a lot of running, which will be fun. I need to do that. I need to get better at running. What else is happening this week? Yeah, normal work stuff, just life. Have my
Yeah.
kids, go to work, play some music, and you know, live the dream,
Live the dream.
living the dream.
Nice, dude.
What about you? What's cooking in the California Peter world?
Well, so I'm typically on a Monday, Wednesday gym, Thursday off, Friday, Saturday gym, Sunday off. And so yesterday was my rest day, which was needed. I was worn out. I was worn out. Monday started off with like heavy back lunges, which
Yeah, we talked about that.
yeah, we talked about that one. But yeah, so I hit like a new PR for like the 10 reps, but then all week, I was just like in pain for it. There's this one thing. I do like a couple class workouts, and I have Jason, one of our coaches, helping do some other workout programming for me. And at the very end of one of the workouts, I had just some thrusters, which is with the squat, and I like was warming up for it, and just started crying, just a tear going down my eye, like how freaking sore I was. So
One lonesome tear
one lonesome tear for
squeezed right out. Yeah,
for the glutes not being able to move at all.
yeah.
And so today we're back at it. Today's snatch day, which will be fun. And then I think going out with the wife tonight.
Hell yeah! What are you guys doing? Where are you going?
Yeah. Well, you know how they say sometimes like a good plan is a canceled plan. So we have
Yep.
canceled plans, and so now it's just us.
Oh, dude, that's money. That's
And so
money.
we're gonna have a good night. TBD on exactly what happens, and then Saturdays is for the soccer all morning.
Do you do gym Saturdays? Because of the kids' schedule with soccer games? Do you do gym afternoon Saturdays?
Yeah,
or like
typically.
early morning.
No, typically it's been somewhere in the middle of the day.
Yeah, there you go.
We get lucky sometimes where, like tomorrow, the wife and I got a split between two different fields at 8 a.m. And then we have one of the kids at another field at 9, and then we're like free and clear the rest of the day.
I like
So
that.
I do too. Yeah, so we'll do that. Get to the gym. Yeah, watch some sports. A lot of game sevens in the NBA coming up. I think we got at least the Celtics 76ers.
I was going to ask, and you're way better at this than I am, so you'll have to steer me here.
Yeah,
Lakers, Rockets.
Game 6 tonight.
Game 6 tonight. Okay, all right, I got you. So they're still
Yeah.
working through that series. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a big SoCal rivalry there. That's a big one.
I don't know about Rockets Lakers.
Well, all right, wait, which? No, I'm thinking Clippers. Clippers are never mind.
Yeah.
For Houston.
Hey, it's fun.
Houston, listen, I know sports. I know,
You know sports.
the basketball and the hoops.
Yeah.
Come on.
Throw it in rivalries. East
like,
Coast,
oh.
West Coast.
Oh, double L. You're like, dude, that's not it. Oh, God. We can edit that, right? We can cut that out. That's fine.
Nah,
that was
leave
not my
it.
best moment.
It's good. It's good. Houston Rockets.
Circle back. So you said snatches today. What's happening? What do you have to do?
What do we got going on?
Pull it up.
We got to wrap this in a second.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. Got some warm ups behind the neck, SOTS presses, and hurdle
Yep.
jumps.
Yep.
Front rack snatch grip strict presses.
Frack.
Some thoracic openers, which at some point we can talk about how crap my thoracic mobility is.
It's trash. I'm just roasting you because I love you. That's all.
Yeah. The worst part about CrossFit is thinking that it's all about getting strong, and then you realize it's all about just having good mobility and being strong. Pause power snatches. So going from 4 reps at 95 all the way to 3 at 125, pausing each set above the right below the kneecap. And then a little
Okay.
little 40 30 20 of toes to ring and calories row.
40, 30, 20. Okay. All right. Well, that's solid.
Jason says, figure out a break strategy, but surprise yourself on how big of a set you can do. So I'm going to surprise myself. We'll see.
I like Jason's notes are always fun when you read them out. I like how his brain says things. It's great.
Well, that's what you want from a coach. You want like some little tidbits of wisdom of what to do for the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
All right, dude. Well,
All right, man.
I know we got the world's waiting on us. We got all the things to do. But hey, first one
is
out of the way.
Is your vocal cords all warmed up now? La, 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 la.
I don't have to sing till next week. We're doing drums should be finished today. I might get on the bass tail end of today, maybe do one, and then tomorrow will be a pretty heavy bass day, and then we take a few days off. We're back Thursday, Friday, Saturday next week, so we'll do some vocal stuff next week. But
All right, man.
dude, Coast to Coast,
Good
Chasing
catching up.
RX,
Yeah.
episode 1, we did it, dude.
Good job by you.
Hey, good job on you, man. I love you, dude. This is fun.
All right.
We'll do it again soon.
We'll talk later.
All right, see you, buddy.